A simple request, like approving a small expense, often becomes stuck in a long chain of reviews. This process can feel deeply inefficient, and it is easy to see it as a flaw in the system. However, these review cycles are not accidental. They are a deliberate design intended to serve a specific purpose. This situation presents a clear paradox. The common experience of delay seems to contradict the system's intentional design. To resolve this, we have to examine what organizations are fundamentally structured to achieve. From an individual's perspective, reviews appear to be a source of delay. From the organization's perspective, they are an essential tool for reducing risk. This difference in viewpoint is key to understanding why these systems exist. To understand this design choice, we first have to look at the core pressure that shapes large organizations, the constant need to control outcomes and manage uncertainty. Risk management is the formal process for dealing with this uncertainty. It is a systematic method for making the future more predictable by controlling events that could otherwise have a negative impact. The risks an organization faces can come from many sources. Some are external, such as shifts in the market, while others are internal, like the possibility of project failure, legal issues, or accidents. The main goal of managing all this risk is to ensure that the organization's activities stay aligned with its established plans. This naturally creates a system that prioritizes predictability and adherence to its stated objectives. In response to this need for predictability, organizations build control systems. These are the internal mechanisms designed to enforce stability and consistent performance. Management control is a process for comparing actual performance against a plan or a standard. It provides a formal method for identifying when things go off track and then taking action to correct the course. This process functions as a continuous feedback loop. First, a standard for performance is set. Next, actual performance is measured and compared against that standard. If there is a significant difference, corrective action is taken. This cycle then repeats, constantly adjusting performance. These control systems show up in the familiar structures of an organization. Things like hierarchical reporting, standard operating procedures, and detailed rules for decisions are all components designed to make behavior consistent and predictable. While these systems provide stability for the organization, they also create direct consequences for the individuals who have to work and make decisions within them. A central part of any review process is gathering comprehensive information to evaluate all the alternatives. While this is helpful for reducing risk, it also introduces significant cognitive challenges for the people involved in the decision. When the volume of information presented exceeds a person's capacity to process it, their ability to make a clear, rational choice can be impaired. The sheer amount of data becomes overwhelming. This can lead to a state known as analysis paralysis, where the process of analyzing information actually prevents a decision from being made. The search for more data and the evaluation of alternatives becomes a cycle that does not reach a conclusion. The act of making decisions also depletes a finite reserve of mental energy. As this resource is used up, the quality of later decisions tends to decline. A person might become more impulsive, or they may avoid making a choice entirely just to conserve what energy they have left. This leads us to the fundamental trade-off that every organization must navigate, whether it is a conscious choice or not. The core choice is between control and speed. A system that is optimized for stability gains predictability, but the cost is slower decision-making. On the other hand, a system that is optimized for speed gains adaptability, but it accepts a higher level of risk. As the management theorist Stafford Beer once wrote, the very profession of management is centered on control. This idea reinforces that ensuring predictable outcomes is a primary function of organizational leadership. Therefore, the delays we experience in these review processes are not an error in the system. They are an intentional feature of a system designed from the ground up to minimize risk and prioritize predictability. Ultimately, organizations use slow, deliberate reviews to optimize for stability. They accept that reduced speed is the necessary and unavoidable cost of managing risk effectively.